Good morning, children. Welcome to the first virtual session of 8th Standard History. Let us begin the session with the quote, "The more you know about the past, the better prepared you are for the future." With this thought in mind, I would like to introduce you to the first topic, sources of history. Children, you know that history is a coherent account of the significant past events in the process of human culture. Time, place, society, and individuals are the four major pillars of history. History must be based on authentic evidence or proofs. These proofs are known as the sources of history. History is a scientific subject in which sources of history are exceptionally important. While considering the changing nature of sources of history as per the time period, the sources of history are included in the first unit. You have studied the sources of ancient and medieval Indian history. Children, in 6th standard, you studied the sources of ancient Indian history, and in 7th standard, you studied the sources of medieval Indian history. This year, we are going to study the sources of modern Indian history. Now, I want to discuss the time period of ancient, medieval, and modern Indian history. Ancient period of Indian history began with the Stone Age and lasted till 8th century CE. Arab-Turk invasion marks the beginning of medieval period. The period from the 9th century CE till the 18th century CE is considered as the medieval period of Indian history. The British established their empire in the Indian subcontinent in the 19th century, and Indian Renaissance marks the beginning of modern age. So children, you have come to know from Stone Age up to 8th century CE, it is considered as the ancient period of Indian history. From 9th to 18th century, it is considered the medieval period of Indian history, and from 19th century onwards, it is considered the modern period of Indian history. History must be based on authentic evidence or proofs. Already I have discussed, and these proofs are known as sources of history. Sources of modern Indian history include material sources, written sources, oral sources, and sources in the audio-visual medium. So children, in this topic, we will come to know about the four types of sources: written sources, material sources, oral sources, and audio-visual sources. Today, I will discuss about material sources of modern Indian history. Various objects, monuments, places, coins, sculptures, etc. can be included in the material sources of modern Indian history. Now, I am going to discuss the detail about each and every source. Monuments. A monument is a type of structure that was explicitly created to commemorate a person or event, or which has become relevant to a social group as a part of their remembrance of historic times or cultural heritage due to its artistic, historic, political, technical, and architectural importance. Children, probably you have seen Taj Mahal, Qutub Minar, India Gate, Charminar, etc. All these are the different examples of monuments. So it is a type of structure that was explicitly created to commemorate a person or an event. It is included in the material sources of modern Indian history. Next one, that is places. Now, I would like to explain the importance of coins. We can also understand history with the help of coins and the changes in the printing of currency notes. Children, do you have any idea about the printing of notes? The organization which is responsible to print the notes, that is the Reserve Bank of India. It has its headquarters in Mumbai. So Reserve Bank of India is the only bank which is responsible to print notes or to mint the coins. The coins from 1950 to those used as present, the metals used for making them, their different shapes, the diversity of subject on them together help us to understand the important contemporary issues in India. As examples, coins to convey the message of population control, coins communicating the importance of agriculture and of farmers. So children, we can understand here that how much coins are important to know about the contemporary Indian history or the modern period of Indian history. Next one is sculpture. Sculpture is the branch of visual arts that operate in 3 dimensions. Durable sculpture processes originally used carving and modeling in stone, metal, ceramics, wood, and other materials. But since modernism, there has been an almost complete freedom of materials and process. The Western tradition of sculpture began in ancient Greece. During the Middle Ages, Gothic sculpture represented the agonies and passions of the Christian faith. The revival of classical models in the Renaissance produced from sculptures such as Michelangelo's David. So sculpture is also a very important material sources of modern Indian history. Now, I would like to explain the buildings and places. Buildings and places, they play also an important role to know about the modern Indian history. The period of modern Indian history is believed as period of European, especially the British rulers and the governance of princely state. In this period, various buildings, bridges, roads, water supply system, fountains, etc. were built. And these buildings includes government offices, residences of officers, leaders, and revolutionaries, places of rulers of princely states, forts, prisons, etc. Among these monuments made, many buildings are intact even today. Some are declared as national monument, whereas some are converted into museum. For example, Cellular Jail in Andaman. So children, I have explained here that the period of modern Indian history is the period of European, especially the British ruler and the governance of princely state, and the different buildings and places, those which were there, and also it is very important for all of us to know about the past. Here I want to explain about princely state. The British ruled India with two administrative systems, British provinces and Indian princely state. About 60% of the territory of the Indian subcontinent were provinces and 40% were princely state. Provinces were British territories directly administered by the colonial government of British India. But princely states were states with native rulers which had entered into treaty relation with the Britishers. So, also at that time, we had the provinces as well as the governance of princely states.